Now I'm going to show you something simple. Is that, how do we know when a word is ismun? Okay, you tell me first, how do you know when a word is ismun? How did you figure out which word is ismun? By the meaning. You check if the word is what? A person, a place, a thing, idea, adjective, and more. You understand the first thing? How do we know if a word is ismun? By the meaning. Meaning. You with me? Yes. But in Arabic also, on the actual word, there will be clues that is ismun. You with me? If you look at the word, there's something on there that will also tell you it's ismun. First thing, if there's an al at the beginning, there's like if there's a alif lam, what does al mean? The. So you see a alif lam at the beginning, a the, then 99.9% of the time it will be an ismun. Maybe 0.01% won't be, but 99.9% of the time it will be an ismun. One second. The. For example, there, al-muslimu. So you see at the beginning there's an al. That al tells me that the word is an ismun. Or there, al-kitabu. What does kitab mean again? Kitab means book. What does al mean again? The. So al-kitabu means the book. It will tell you the word is ism. Next clue. O and an, in. What do you call an, in? Called tanween. A tanween is a or an or an in. If you see an in on a word, it will 100% of the time be an ismun. In other words, a fi'l can never have a tanween and a harf can never have a tanween. Only an ism can have a tanween. These are visual clues, Okay, for example, the word rasulun. What does rasul mean? A messenger. You can see at the end there's a there, therefore rasulun is an ism. Besides the meaning now, messenger is a person, is an ism. There's a sign on there. For example, baytun. What does baytun mean? A house. So we know by the meaning it's a ismun, but also on the word there's a sign. Last clue is that there. What do you call that? It's called a ta marbuta. A ta marbuta. Ta marbuta is a ta that's a closed ta with two dots on top. You get the open ta with the bowl. There's the closed ta. Ta marbuta. If you see a ta marbuta, then 100% of the time it will be an ismun. A fi'l can't have a ta marbuta. A harf can't have a ta marbuta. For example, the word jannatun. What does jannah mean? Paradise, but it actually means a garden. Jannah means a garden. Ta marbuta, it's a ismun. Ayatun, what does ayah mean? A verse or a sign. Ta marbuta, it is an ismun. So what are the three signs of a ismun? Al at the beginning, or tanween at the end, or ta marbuta at the end. You never get tanween in the middle, or ta marbuta in the middle, always at the end. Okay. But, listen carefully. There are some ismuns with no al, no tanween, no ta marbuta. You with me? There are some ismuns with no al, there's many ismuns actually, with no al, no tanween, no ta marbuta. But if you see an al, a tanween or ta marbuta, you know it's an ismun. All good so far? I must bring my tablet here for the questions again. I'll bring it now, inshallah. Okay, that's easy stuff. Quickly. In your groups, quickly, Surah Yasin. All I want you to do is look for those three clues. What are the three clues of ismun? Al, tanween, ta marbuta. Without knowing what the words mean, just see how many ismuns you can find. Without knowing what the words mean, just look there. Yasin, wal, Qur'anil Hakim, and so on. Look for the signs you can find. Is the level right? Okay, it's on worksheet 1.2a also on your worksheets. You'll see it there. Tutors, a reminder to go around when they have group work, inshallah. When they have group work, inshallah, please go around to the groups. If you have any questions, you're welcome to ask a tutor, inshallah. While you have group work. On the worksheet, the Surah Fatiha also, you can do Surah Fatiha afterwards. Do Surah Yasin first. The first part is Surah Fatiha, second part is Surah Yasin. Do Surah Yasin first and Surah Fatiha afterwards. Don't worry about the underlined words, just do the ones with the al tanween ta marbuta. Don't worry about the underlined words. Just do the ones on the screen, actually, it's easier. Yeah. Okay, Bismillah. Let's go through together. Because it's only the warm up this. We still come to the main course today. Okay. So Bismillah. Let's go through it. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Yasin. Does Yasin have any signs there? So I'm not asking you whether it's ism, fi'l or harf. I'm just asking you whether it has any of those three signs. Yasin. No sign there, right? Wal Qur'ani. Does it have a sign? Okay, no, it's a bit confusing because we say that this must start with the alif lam, but that starts with the wa. But the wa, there's actually a separate word that means by, but just joined together, so it's a bit confusing, that one. But the wa is like a separate word, and the actual word is al-Qur'an, so it's going to be an ismun because there has an al. Next one, al-Hakimi. Does that have one of it? Yes. Where's the next one? Innaka laminal mursalin. Al-Mursalin. It has an al. Next one. Ala siratim mustaqim. Where? Siratin tanween. Mustaqimin tanween. We're looking for signs of ismun. So Arabic is so cool, you can just look at the words and it just pops out ismun, ismun, even though you have no idea what it means. Next one. Tanzil al-Aziz al-Rahim. Al there. Al-Azizi Ar-Rahimi. Al. Just for interest's sake, Tanzil is also an ism, but doesn't have any of the signs. Just to make you note that there are isms without the signs. For example, Tanzil means a revelation. It's an ismun, but doesn't have any of the three signs. So there are those ismuns that have no signs. We're just focusing on the one that has the signs. Okay. Next one. لِتُنذِرَ قَوْمًا مَا أُنذِرَ آبَاؤُهُمْ فَهُمْ غَافِلُونَ. Any of those? Qawman. Tanween. You see tanween? Ismun. لَقَدْ حَقَّ الْقَوْلُ عَلَىٰ أَكْثَرِهِمْ فَهُمْ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ. Which word's the ismun there? Al-qawlu. Alif lam ismun. Next one. إِنَّا جَعَلْنَا فِي أَعْنَاقِهِمْ أَغْلَالًا فَهِيَ إِلَى الْأَذْقَانِ فَهُمْ مُقْمَحُونَ. Which one? أغلالا. You can see أغلالا. Ya أغلالا. As a an tanween ismun. Next one. Al-adhqani. You can see alif lam. Al-ismun. Al-ismun. Next one. وَجَعَلْنَا مِنْ بَيْنِ أَيْدِهِمْ سَدًّا وَمِنْ خَلْفِهِمْ سَدًّا فَأَغْشَيْنَاهُمْ فَهُمْ لَا يُبْصِرُونَ. Where? Saddan. Next one. Saddan. Okay. So those are all the ismuns. There are more, but those are the ones with the sign. Okay. All good so far? Now we're going to learn some Arabic terms. Arabic terms. Just checking if you have this thing with the terms on. Yeah, it's on page. Inshallah, next week we'll have a book, so I won't have so many pages, but it's on page number 3. So you don't have to write down the terms, they're all on page number 3. On top it says what is Nahwu. So you don't have to write down all the terms on page number 3. There's a table at the bottom, page number 3. It's double-sided also, so it makes it looking more fun also for it. Okay. Okay, don't worry, it will be on the desk inshallah. But don't worry, for now, we just check the screen together. I'm just saying it's on the, don't worry, you have it. Just relax. No. Okay. So now, we're looking at, let's read this words together quickly. What's this here? Bu, ba, bi, and lub. Let's read it together again. Bu, ba, bi, lub. Okay. So now I'm going to give you some terminology which we'll be using in the class. This here is a u, a, I. Okay. Each one of this, we call it, it's behind the speaker there, so you can't see it's a letter there, but it's haraka. Each one of these are called what? A haraka. Not the bottom one, just the three. So what's a haraka? U, a, I. It's a haraka. The plural of haraka is harakat. Lots of harakas. Is harakat. So what's the plural? Harakat. Okay, that's u, a, I. Does anybody know another name for u? Okay, no. A lot of people did Arabic before. It's called a dhamma. All say together. Again. Dhamma. And so in other words, a dhamma means an u. A dhamma means an u. Okay, I think this row must just move just one step this way, just not to on the screen, inshallah. A dhamma means an u. So in other words, if someone says there's a dhamma on the ba, what do they mean? What's on the ba? U. So what does dhamma mean? U. So instead of saying u every time in class, we'll often use the word dhamma. We'll say there's a dhamma on the ba. All we mean is that there's an u on the ba. Next one. Ah. What do you call an ah? Call a fatha. All say it together. Fatha. Fatha. An ah is a fatha. An ah is a fatha. So instead of saying there's a ah on the ba, we'll say there's what's on the ba? Fatha. And what's an I called? Kasra. It's called a kasra. So instead of saying there's a I on the ba, we'll say there's a kasra. Let's say those three terms together. Dhamma, fatha, kasra. Again. Dhamma, fatha, kasra. Again. Okay. Because I don't know how you learned it. How did you learn? If you're very old, then you learned about dua detas. I don't know that stuff there. Where's our experienced guys here? Just give it to me there. Alif, dua, deta. Bismillah. Just the youngsters, they don't know what I'm talking about. Just show them you can speak the Indonesian or Malaysian. Just Bismillah. How does it go? But give until the mic quickly. Auntie, must give it please. How does it go? Oh. This is back in the day, you know. This is like archival stuff here.
Alif tetes a, alif bawah I, alif depan u, a, I, u.
Mashallah. You see, back in the day in Cape Town, they used to learn like that. Dua, bawa, I don't know, that's how they used to learn. Okay. And in Urdu also they learned, I don't know what Urdu is. Anybody learned it in Urdu? Give out there, what's that go? Zabr ze pesh. In Urdu, they will learn Zabr ze pesh. But we're Arabic class, so we learn Arabic here. We leave the Malaysian, Indonesian, and the Urdu here. This is Arabic only. So here we say Dhamma, Fatha, Kasra. Okay? Or in simple, a, I. Same thing. Okay. Those three things are called harakat. Or one thing we call haraka. What does haraka actually mean? People say there's baraka and haraka. You heard it before? Our brothers from Tabligh, they say there's baraka and haraka. What does haraka mean? Haraka means movement. Movement. Haraka means movement. Why do you say movement? Because the sound moves. It doesn't stay in your mouth. It comes out bu, ba, bi. As opposed to stopping in your mouth, like the last one, where does the sound go? Say it. Lub. Can you see the sound didn't come out? The sound just stopped in your mouth. Lub. So what do you call that circle? You call that Sukoon. And Sukoon is the opposite of haraka. What does Sukoon mean? From the word sakina, from the word maskan, aina taskun, it means to stop, to be settled. So in other words, haraka means the sound is moving from your mouth, it's coming out, and Sukoon means the sound is stopping. Lub. So a Sukoon is not actually a haraka, it's actually the opposite thing. Just the three is haraka. Dhamma, fatha, kasra, those are harakat, and that is a Sukoon. Okay, so you just stop the sound. Lub. Sometimes you apply qalqala, all that stuff, that's tajweed stuff, but you just stop the sound in your mouth. Sukoon. Let's say those four together. Dhamma, fatha, kasra, sukoon. Next one. An, un, in. What do we call that? Tanween. An, un, in. We call this all tanween. Tanween. Some people say dhammatan, fathatan, kasratan, all those things. Which just a tanween means there's two uz. There's two as and there's two is. For example, say those three. Ban, tun, tin. Ban, tun, tin. An, un, in, that is, there are tanweens. Last few, inshallah. Let's read that word there. Muhammad. Let's read the next word. Yeah. Read this word here. Muhammad. Read this word here. Muhammad. Can you hear the difference? Can you hear the difference? There's no difference. The one is Muhammad and the other is Muhammad. It's exactly the same thing. You mustn't hear any difference. I don't know if you're hearing differences. Must check it out. Okay. Because all this thing is a shadda. That's called there. There are two bakis there. It's called a shadda. All that means is that that letter is actually there twice. So if I ask you how many memes do you see in Muhammad, you're supposed to say two. Two. Three, okay, but two in the middle, three, yeah. Good one. Now, what is a shadda? A shadda is a double letters shadda. In other words, the first one has a sukoon inside there. So they will say Muhammad. You're saying sound stops. Sukoon, Muhammad, and the sound moves. Mad. Say it. Muhammad. Again. Muhammad. You're stopping the sound and then you pushing the sound, making it stop and move. Lower. Okay. That's called a shadda. Okay. Last thing. I say I'm speaking too loudly. No, last one. You all good so far? Just terms for now. If you look at the bottom of the screen there's two words there. Can you see there's two words, they both have a shadda. Okay. What's the difference between the two? Can you see the lines at the bottom of the shadda and the lines on the top of the shadda? Okay, so many people are not used to it because in the Mus'haf it doesn't come like this. But if the line is at the bottom of the shadda, it's an I. So how do I read this word? Rattil. All together? Rattil. If the line's on top of the shadda, what is it? It's an A. So read that word. Rattal. Okay. Rattal. You with me? So what did we learn so far? Let's take the first four. Dhamma together. Dhamma, fatha, kasra, sukoon. What else we learn? Tanween and shadda. Allah. We're good so far? Okay. Now the problems start now. But before we give you all the problems, I want to tell you all the stages of learning. What's the very, very, very first stage of learning? The very, very first stage of learning is when you don't know that you don't know. Like your teenagers, they think they know, but they don't know that they don't know. Okay. So in other words, you don't even know that you don't know. Okay. Then what's the second stage? Then someone shows you the subject. Like for example, if someone asks you before you came to class, do you know what Sarf is? You didn't even know that you didn't know what Sarf is. Then you come to class and you realize, oh, there's a subject called Sarf. Then what do you realize then? Now you know that you don't know. So inshallah, you're all entering the second phase now. You know that you don't know. And then we show you, then the third phase is that you feel confused. You with me? Because what's going on now? What is this stuff going on? I mean, I didn't know that I didn't know. Now I know that I didn't know, and then now I'm just confused. Okay, that's the third phase. And then the fourth phase, you know it. You know what you know, now you know it. And then in the fifth phase, you're bored. It's so easy that you're bored. Okay. So now we're going to move you. So where were you now before you joined the class? Step 1. You didn't know that you didn't know. Now you're going to get now, what is hal? Okay, now you're going to see that. Now you're going to know that you don't know. Then I'm going to show you the lesson now and you'll be confused. But if you're confused, you're more than halfway. Okay, so it's a very positive thing in this class to be confused. Welcome to the club. The person around you, look at their face, they'll be like, what gaan nou aan? Okay. So if you're confused, don't have to drop out, it's okay. Just relax. You said, eventually it makes sense. And sometimes it takes you to second or third year and then it only makes sense. But it's fine. It's fine. We don't expect you to know 100% of what we're doing here. Just like 50, to have some idea. Remember the first year is like an introduction, it's a crash course, it's intensive. Every week we add new concepts. You must just have some idea of what's going on. Okay, some idea. You're not going to master it. I'm the speaker for an hour, you're not going to master the concept now. You must be confused. You must be uncomfortable. You must doubt your self-worth and self-esteem. Doubt your own intelligence. It's part of the process. Humble yourself before the ilm. That's how it works. Okay, so just relax. Relax, okay? Relax. The men are generally relaxed, but just, especially the sisters, you can also relax. Okay. Allah. And what I normally do is I put the most difficult lesson first. This is one of the most difficult lessons for the year, which put it up front. Okay, so you ready? You ready? Okay, Bismillah. The status, the hal of an ism. What does it mean? Don't worry about notes. The show is here. What does hal mean? If I say kayfa halukum, what do I mean? Kayfa haluk? Like what's your condition? How are you doing? What state are you in? You with me? So hal means what your status is. Okay. First thing, let's go. It's all from the Quran. Inni rasulun min rabbil alamin. Inni, verily I, rasulun, I am a messenger, from rabbil alamin, the Lord of all the worlds. First sentence. Next one. Rabbana wab'ath fihim rasulan. Rabbana, O our Lord, wab'ath, send or raise, fihim, amongst them, rasulan, a messenger. Last one. وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَا مِنْ رَسُولٍ إِلَّا لِيُطَاعَ وَمَا and not أَرْسَلْنَا and we did not send min rasulin from a messenger illa liyuta except that the messenger should be obeyed. Okay. Which word is in every sentence? Word rasul. What does the rasul mean? A messenger. What's different about each word? What's different about each word? It's rasulun, the end there, and then it is rasulan, and then it is rasulin. The first one ends with what? Two. Not tetas. Not zabar. What is it? Dhammas. Two uz. And that one ends with two Two fathas. As, to as. And it ends with what? Two kasras. Two is. Okay. What does Rasulun mean there? A messenger. What does Rasulan mean? A messenger. And what does Rasulin mean? A messenger. So the first thing, Rasulun, Rasulan, Rasulin means exactly the same thing. It all means a messenger, although they look different. Okay, I just want you to see that they look different. Next one. Amana ar-rasulu bima unzila ilayhi. Amanu has believed, ar-rasulu, the messenger, has believed, bima unzila ilayhi, in that which was revealed to him. Next one. وَاتَّبَعْنَا الرَّسُولَ, and we followed the messenger. Last one. وَإِذَا سَمِعُوا مَا أُنزِلَ إِلَى الرَّسُولِ, and when they hear that which has been sent down to the messenger. Which word is in common? Ar-Rasul, the messenger. What's the first one? Ar-Rasulu, and then Ar-Rasulah, and then Ar-Rasuli. What does the first one end with? Ad-Dhamma. Second one? Fatha. Third one? Kasra. What do they all mean? The messenger, because Alif Lam means the messenger, the messenger, the messenger. The point is what? You get the same word. Rasulun, Rasulan, Rasulin, Ar-Rasulu, Ar-Rasula, Ar-Rasuli. Even though it ends with different things, it always means the same thing. Okay. So our job in this whole course here of Nahwu is to understand what does that ending mean? What's happening with that ending? Okay. Stay with me. You with me still? Don't zone out now, eh? Naam. Naam. There's a manager there. How would you describe his hal? If you come to him and say, Kaifa halukum? Ya buta. What do you think his say his hal is? Looks upset, he looks angry. Okay. But he's a quiet guy. He's on Facebook. So what is he going to do? He's not what's since he update your status there, no? Facebook. What's he gonna say? What's his hal? Upset, angry. But my question is, how do you know his hal? Expression, you see a sign there that shows you his hal. Is something you feel, is it something inside or outside? Do you like feel happiness like on your eyes and your ears and your like where's your feelings? Your feelings are inside. So the feeling is inside, right? But where's the sign? The sign is separate between the sign and the feeling. There's two things in a human. There's a sign, the thing you see outside, and the thing inside is the actual hal. So you might see someone smiling, but they might be upset. Or you might see someone crying, but they might be having tears of joy. You with me? So you don't always know. So it's two separate things. Anyway, the point being is that there, you look for a sign. And the sign there tells you what his hal is. So his sign there is his frown. So we can come to the assumption that he is upset. So you can go to Facebook and then say, I'm upset. Okay, post. Because you have to share emotions every half an hour. It's part of what's done nowadays. Okay. No. Okay, so he's hal. So there's two things, right? There's the indicator and there's a hal. Okay. Now, a ism, like a human being has a hal. How many hals does a human being have? Happy, sad, nervous, anxious, overjoyed, terrified, many hals. And ism also has a hal, but it only has 3. A ism has how many hals? 3. A ism has how many hals? 3. Okay. I'm just going to give you the names of the hal. Don't worry about notes, all this stuff. You just watch the screen. Even take notes is fine, but I'm saying the first hal is raf'un. Let's say it together. Raf'un. All together? No. The next hal is nasbun. All together? One more time. And the third hal is jarrun. Again? So ism has a hal. How many hals can an ism have? 3. What are the 3 hals? Raf'un, altogether. Nasbun, jarrun. Not nas, that's a sin, eh? So, nasbun. Say it. Okay. Not no, na. Nas. No. But it's okay though, it's not that really class. Okay, say the 3. Raf'un, nasbun, jarrun. Altogether. Raf'un, nasbun, jarrun. Again. Okay. What are those? Okay. So if you had to meet a ism, you come to ism, say Assalamu alaikum ism. You say Kayfa haluka? How are you doing ism? The ism can only say ana raf'un or ana nasbun or ana jarrun. It can only be in one of those 3 hals. You with me? Okay. And plus, he must be in one of those 3. He doesn't have a choice. Every ism in the whole Quran must be either raf'un or nasbun or jarrun. He can't be in no hal and he can't be in 2 hals at the same time. You with me? He must, almost like you must either be standing, sitting, lying down, or flying, I suppose. In the air, if you can levitate. You can't be in another. Can you be in anything else besides that? You're either on your feet, or you're sitting down, or you're lying down, or you're levitating or something. You can only be in one of those hals. Okay. You all with me so far? Remember, hal is something you can't see. Okay. Bismillah. You ready? You ready for this? Last few minutes. It's time now. 9:41. Ready for this? Okay. Now we're going to look for it, look for the man, look for a sign to see his hal. We're going to look on the ism to think, to work out what the hal of the ism is. Okay. The first one is Rasulun and Ar-Rasulu. And just like for footnote, we're only looking at the single ism for now. We'll do plurals and other stuff later on. We're looking only at the single, like one thing, not plurals and all that stuff. Rasulun, Ar-Rasulu, what does it end with? It ends with 2 dhammas there and 1 dhamma there. It ends with a dhamma. So for now, if you have a single ism and it ends with a dhamma or 2 dhammas, what hal is it in? Raf'un. Why? Because I said so. I just said so, yeah. Okay, don't ask me why anything else just because I said so. Okay, if it ends with a u or a un, what hal is it in? Raf'un. Next one. Rasulan ar-rasulah. What does it end with there? An and 2 fathas, 1 fathah. If an ism ends with an or an what hal is it in? Nasbun altogether? Nasbun. If it ends with an or it is nasbun. Okay, you with me? A single ism. Last one. If it ends rasulin with an in or an I, then it is jarrun. It is jarrun. You don't have to understand anything. You must just say what I said now, you just say it. If a single ism, single, not plural, if a single ism ends with a u, what's the hal? Altogether, what's the hal? If it ends with a what's the hal? If it ends with a I, what's the hal? If it ends with a what's the hal? If it ends with a I, what's the hal? Okay. You with me? That's all you must say. So for example, you come to the Surah Al-Fatiha, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. You come to the word Ar-Rahmani. Do you think Ar-Rahman is an ism? Do you think it's ism? There's Alif Lam? It's ism. What hal do you, and it's a single, what hal do you think Ar-Rahman is in? Altogether? Jarrun. What are the 3 hals again? Raf'un altogether. Raf'un, nasbun, jarrun. Ar-Rahmani, what's the hal? Jarrun. Ar-Rahimi, jarrun. Alhamdu, raf'un. Lillahi Rabbi, jarrun. See, Al-Alamin is also ism, but Alamin is plural, so we leave it later on. Alamin means the worlds. We leave plural for later. Ar-Rahmani, again. All together, what's the hal? Jarrun. Ar-Rahimi, what's the hal? Maliki, Yawmi, Dini, Ihdina as-sirata, as-sirata, nasbun. Al-Mustaqima, nasbun. Sirata, nasbun. Al-Maghdubi, jarrun. Okay, that's it. All right. Okay. Is there more here? You know what's left? Is homework. Okay. Some people also get confused about homework. I just want to analyze the word homework. In it, there are two things. There's the word home and the word work. So homework in this class means work you do at home, before class. Okay. Because some people don't, it's work you do at home. So please, homework is wajib, not sunnah, mustahab. In this class, homework is wajib. Okay. So your homework is exercise. And every week you'll have a bit of homework, not too much. Just enough to keep you busy. Do you have exercise 1.2 with you? If you don't have it, it should be on the desk. Because I don't have a copy with me here. Exercise 1. They have 1.2? That's it? Okay. Okay, it's fine. Okay. 1.2. If you don't have it, 1.2a on top. It will be on the desk. It's fine. After you can get it. What you must do for 1.2a. There's two passages from the Quran. A short passage from Surah Al-Fatiha and a passage from Surah Yasin. Okay. From Surah Yasin. What you must do is that whenever you see a word that is underlined in the passage, all you must write on top of it is one of three things: raf'un, nasbun, or jarrun. Then number two, what you must do is you must take each word that's underlined, and in the table below, you must write down the word in raf'un, nasbun, and jarrun. For example, let's say Yasi, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Ar-Rahmani. How am I going to write Ar-Rahmani in raf'un? How am I going to change Ar-Rahmani to raf'un? Ar-Rahmanu. And I'm going to write it in nasbun. Ar-Rahmana. And I'm going to write it in jarrun. And Ar-Rahmani. So you must fill the table. Each underlined word you must write in raf'un, you must write it in nasbun, and you must write it in jarrun. And finally, you must look up the meaning. There's hundreds of apps and websites and word-by-word Qur'ans, and there's enough resources. You look up the meaning. Don't need dictionary, you can just Google it, you'll find it. Or you have something app on there, word-by-word Qur'an, you'll find it. Bismillah, you write down the meaning. This is what? Homework. Homework. But even if you don't do homework, you come back next week, inshallah. You feel a bit guilty, make tawbah, you carry on. Okay. Don't drop out now because you didn't do your homework. Okay, because you'll be in good company. But you carry on, inshallah. But the more homework you do, the more competency. If you don't do it now, the next week come, what is nasbun, and what is jarrun, what is shadda, what is tanween, what is dhamma. There's too many terms. Next week is again moving. The train is moving every week. We're not stopping. We're moving every week, inshallah ta'ala. Okay. We end every class with some nasiha. So you can take a deep breath and just refresh your minds for a moment. Allah. Maybe some admin reminders before I carry on. Just a reminder that if you come to class, you must drive around the mosque anti-clockwise. This morning, 2 people were driving the other way when I came. So please come around the mosque. You come in and you drive anti-clockwise, this way around. This way around and that way out. Dropping you, please tell them to drive the same way. Otherwise it causes chaos here in the morning. And of course, please don't park in front of anybody's driveways. Inshallah. Taruish, are there more announcements? Or? Okay. You normally WhatsApp, you know WhatsApp, yeah. No questions? Okay. Bismillah. So last week we did the Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, wa salatu wa salam, Rasulillah, wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Last week we did the beginning of this hadith, where the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, Man salaka tariqan yabtaghi fihi ilma, whoever traverses a tariq, a path, seeking in it knowledge, sahalallahu bihi tariqan ila al-jannah, Allah eases for that person a path towards Jannah. And one of the things we mentioned last week, that the path to Jannah is in the dunya. The path to Jannah is in the dunya, not the akhirah. Akhirah is the end of the path and the end of the journey, and then you guys get judged. But the path to Jannah is actually in the dunya. It is every day, every week, every morning, every evening. May Allah ease our path to paradise. May Allah keep us from those things that displeases us, keep us away from those things which displease us, insha'Allah wa ta'ala. So if you're looking at this hadith on the screen, just to Nahwu for like 1 minute, you should be able to see some isms popping out at you. Without knowing the meaning, can you just call out some isms quickly? Tariqan, Bismillah. Ilman, Al-Jannah, Allah, Al-Malaikata, Rida'an. There's many isms there that you can find. In addition, besides seeing an ism, you must see the hals now. You see, you're seeing 2 things now. See the ism? What else do you see? If I ask you tariqan, what's the hal? What's the hal? Nasbun. Next one, ilman. Nasbun. Al-jannati. Jarrun. Talibi. So it must be fast. You mustn't even think. Okay. It's like driving. You can't look at the gaze while you're busy. Yeah? Imam can bacha there and you're like standing. Rafun, Nasbun, Jarrun. What is now? The juice will be finished. You're still busy there, but opening verse must be fast, inshallah. So you must practice, inshallah. Okay, Bismillah. The hadith continues. And these things we believe because we believe the Prophet ﷺ is an authority on the unseen because he gets revelation from the master of the unseen, which is Allah Ta'ala. And the Prophet ﷺ says, in addition to Allah easing, I mean, if Allah just ease your path to Jannah, it will be enough. But in addition to that, when you come to class, when you seek knowledge for the sake of Allah, وَإِنَّ الْمَلَائِكَةَ, and verily, al-malaikata, the angels, la tada'u ajnihataha, they lower their wings, rida'an li talib al-ilm, out of pleasure for the talib al-ilm. So our belief actually is that when you come to class, that angels are lining the street, and they are literally lowering their wings out of honor for people who are taking out the time on a Sunday morning. Why? Only for the sake of Allah. Because we believe these gatherings are surrounded by angels. These gatherings are actually, the hadith says there's so many angels in these gatherings that they can't fit in the gathering. So they start going above one another and they fill the entire lowest dunya until the lowest dunya. Until through the stars, through the galaxy, they fill heavens with, for their eagerness to be in these gatherings. وَإِنَّ الْعَالَمَ, and verily وَإِنَّ الْعَالِمَ, and verily the person that knows, that seeks knowledge, لا يستغفر له من في السماوات ومن في الأرض. The person who is seeking knowledge, just imagine this. The person who is seeking knowledge seeks forgiveness, whatever and whoever is in the heavens and whatever and whoever is in the earth. Can we even count how many things are in the heavens? Can we even count how many things are in the sea? All of those things seek forgiveness. And as if the Prophet ﷺ wanted to emphasize to you, this is not some sort of abstract thing. So the Prophet ﷺ says, حَتَّى الْحِيتَانُ فِي الْمَاءِ, even the fish in the sea. These are the words of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Don't just think it's some, maybe only a few creatures. Even the fish, the abundant fish in the ocean, they are making istighfar for people like you who are seeking knowledge. Allah knows we need istighfar. Allah knows we need people to seek forgiveness for us. And all of the dunya actually seeks forgiveness for us when you enter these circles of knowledge. Why? Innal ulama'a. Sorry. وَفَضْلُ الْعَالِمِ عَلَى الْعَابِدِ. It's amazing hadiths. The superiority of an alim. What's an alim? From the word ilm, the person who has knowledge. عَلَى الْعَابِدِ. What's an abid? A slave, a worshipper. Are they both good? They're both good. The alim must be an abid, the abid must be an alim, same thing. But the person who specializes in learning, who has knowledge, his value over the person that worships. So you have two people. The one is studying all the time, doing their homework. And the other one said, no, I'm not rather going to make salah. Whole night, don't leave, raf nasjar. The Prophet is speaking about the person who learns and has knowledge. His superiority over the person that worships is what? كَفَضْلِ الْقَمَرِ عَلَى سَائِرِ الْكَوَاكِبِ. Is like the superiority over the moon over all the other planetary bodies. That was the brightness of the full moon. When the brightness of the full moon comes, what happens to the stars? The stars fade away. You can hardly see the light of the stars. That is the superiority of the person that knows and learns over the person that worships. Because knowledge is something which is transformative. Once you get something, it stays with you. You can't take it out. You can't take knowledge out. But worship is something which you do is very good and beautiful, but you're inspired the one day you do it, you're not inspired, you don't do it again. It's as if it was nothing because it was gone again. But knowledge is something which stays with you and transforms everything. Transforms your entire being. The Prophet ends with this. And he says, Innal ulama. Verily the ulama. Ulama, we mean people who have knowledge. Warathatul anbiya. They are the waratha. They are the heirs. They inherit from the prophets. They inherit from the prophets. Innal anbiya lam yuwarrithu dinaran wala dirhaman innama warrathul ilm. That the prophets have left nothing behind. No gold coins. No silver coins. There's no golden coin from Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. There's no land that you can inherit from Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. What is the only thing you can inherit from Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is that divine knowledge. Qala Allah, qala Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and that nur that comes with that knowledge. That's all that's left behind. That is the actual inheritance. And for too long, we often a community, and I'm very concerned that we are becoming, alhamdulillah, we actually were a very intact community. We were a very religious community before. Obviously, people had their own things, but generally, Muslims in Cape Town have strong identities. But now, people are starting to lose their identity. And one of the reasons is because they can become disconnected from the source. They become disconnected from Allah, become disconnected from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the only way to reconnect is through ilm. Because that ilm becomes love. That ilm becomes longing. That ilm becomes identity. That is the only way to return, is to return to knowledge. And the Prophet ends with, and man akhadahu أخذ به أخذ بحظ وافر. Whoever has taken some of the knowledge of the prophets, they have taken a great fortune. They have taken a great fortune in their lives. Therefore, mashallah, whatever degrees you do, mashallah, it's good for you, and your PhDs and your doctorates and your positions and your courses and whatever you have. But those things don't often transform your life. Those things often just give you a bit more dunya. Okay, it's okay, get a bit more dunya. But knowledge of this divine source, this transform your life, your family, your decisions, your worldview, where you're going with your life, your future, everything. So this journey is an important journey. And with this journey, you actually walk now in the footsteps of the messengers and the footsteps of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And that's our only mission. Our only mission here is to connect people to Allah and connect people to those things which Allah loves. His house and His book and His messengers and His people. And that is the blessed way. That's the blessed way, and we return to that way. So when you come into class, it's not something in the eyes of Allah, it's not something small. Say it's a part-time class, don't have a part-time attitude. In the eyes of Allah, this is weighty. That so many people are taking out of their time. People who are busy, who have families, who have work, and they are coming with a sincere niyyah, inshallah, to seek divine guidance. Is a weighty thing in the eyes of Allah. It's a weighty thing. So make the niyyah now, inshallah, that you're going to carry on this journey. That you will have istiqamah, that you will study the Quran, and this will be a transformative journey in your life. May Allah bless us, may Allah protect us, may Allah forgive us, and through all of those beings seeking us forgiveness, may Allah forgive us as well, because we need lots of forgiveness. Ameen, inshaAllah ta'ala. It's the end of Surah Al-Asr. A'udhu billahi min ash-shaytanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Wal asr. Inna l-insana lafi khusr. Illa alladhina amanu wa amilu salihati. Wa tawasaw bil haqqi wa tawasaw bil sabr. We'll see you next week, inshallah. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We will return to class, inshallah. Now it's 10:01. So if you can be seated at 10:25, inshallah. Enough time to relax. At 10:25, the lesson will start promptly, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum. This is the end of break. Assalamu alaikum. This is the end of break. This is the end of break. كل واحد من نوع الإنسان. Yeah. Mm. So how is this thing playing now? Yeah, okay. No, no. Hello, no. It's on. Am I speaking over the mic? So, can everybody hear me? No. No, 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 no. Okay, but this is like super close. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. Hello, 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 hello. Can you guys hear me? No. No, no, no. No, 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 no. Can you guys hear me? No, 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 no. Can you guys hear me now? Bismillah. Alhamdulillah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسوله الكريم وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. اللهم اجعلنا من ظلمات الوهم وأكرمنا بنور الفهم وافتح علينا بمعرفة العلم وسهل أخلاقنا بالحلم وجعلنا ممن يستمعون القول فيتبعون أحسنه. اللهم اجعل أعمالنا خالصة لوجهك اللهم على سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا الحمد لله رب العالمين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Everyone today? Alhamdulillah. We continue with Sarf bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. All on our journey to understanding the Quran. Guys, do you remember what Sarf is? What's it about? Don't tell me morphology. That's like, I don't even know what that means. What's Sarf about? It's about, okay, we said we're going to focus on verbs in the subject. The subject of Sarf is not necessarily restricted to verbs, but we're going to focus on verbs. We're going to focus, what about verbs? Our change in form causes a change in meaning. Right, good. Right. So that's basically it, right? Deals with changing and how changes can occur in the verb. But more specifically, how a change in form causes a change in meaning of the verb. Then we started off with this type of verb. We said we're starting off with, what do we call it? Al-fi'alul madi. Everybody say it for me again, please. And what does it mean? Past tense verb. Mada, something that had already passed by, it's complete, it's gone. Okay. Form of the fi'al al-madi. Fa'ala. Fa'ala means? He did. Okay. So before we go into it, we're all just going to say what we know so far, right? 3 times. Bismillah. Everybody for me. Fa'ala in the meaning, right? Fa'ala, he did. Fa'alu, they, many males did. Fa'alat, she did. Fa'alna, they, many females did. Okay, one more time. Fa'ala, he did. Fa'alat, what's my saying? Guys, got me going wrong. Astaghfirullah. Again, quickly everybody. Fa'ala, he did. Fa'alu, they, many males did. Fa'alat, she did. Fa'alna, they, many females did. Okay, now just partner with somebody and say it to them quickly.
Quick. 1 minute. Come on, like this. Okay, got it. I'm just going to chuck some words on the board quickly, and you're going to tell me. Just to recap, this is just like a revision. We're going to do this all the time. They, many females did. Fa'al? Good. They, many males did. Good. She did. Fa'alat. Good. Fa'alna? They, many females did. Good. He did. Fa'alna? They, many females did. Good. Okay. Fa'ala, fa'alu, fa'alat, fa'alna. That's what we learned as well. Okay, this is just a repeat of some of those examples I showed you from the Quran last week, so I'm just going to skip over that. But now we move on from there. You see, those words that we learned, they only going to help us for now when you skinner. Huh? Astaghfirullah, no. But they were only speaking about third person, the only people that are not present. She, he, they, she, they, many females. It's all people that's not part of the discussion, right? It's not the one speaking nor the one spoken to. Outside discussion, what we call the third person. The third person is the one that's not in the conversation. The second person is the one that's being spoken to, and the first person is the one that's speaking. He's the first one because the word is coming out of his mouth. The second person because that's the one he's speaking to. The third person, the one outside of the discussion. So when we learn our Arabic scales, we categorize the verbs like that. But we usually do it in the reverse order. So we first learn the third person, then the second person, and then the first person. So we learned already now the third person. Fa'ala, fa'alu, fa'alat, fa'alna. Third person. Now we move on to the second person. So how do I say you, one male did? Okay, I put it on the board too quickly. How I say you, one male did, because that's the next one, right? Second person, the person that I'm speaking to now. You, one male, did. I say, fa'alta. Everybody say it for me. Again? You can see there was a change, right? What change happened? I stuck that ta at the end of the verb. Right? Fa'alta. And how did it change the meaning? Now instead of meaning him, it's meaning you, one male. Why are we saying you, one male, as opposed to just saying he, is because we use you for like singular, plural, masculine, feminine, it's all the same. That's why we have to clarify there, right? So, fa'alta, you, one male. How do you think we're going to say you, many males? Okay, yeah, I already gave you the scale last week. So good, mashallah, good students went over the scale for homework. Right, fa'altum. Everybody say it for me. Fa'altum. Again? So let's say our scale for now. Fa'ala, he did. Fa'alu, they, many males did. Fa'alat, she did. Fa'alna, they, many females did. Fa'alta, you, one male did. Fa'altum, you, many males did. One more time. Fa'ala, he did. Fa'alu, they many males did. Fa'alat, she did. Fa'alna, they many females did. Fa'alta, you one male did. Fa'altum, you many males did. And how do you think feminine is going to be? Fa'alti. Right? And why? Because why it's fa'alti is because the Arabic word for you one male is anta. Anta. And for you one female it's anti. Yeah. It's got nothing to do with the Afrikaans or anything like that. Right? So okay. So you one female is fa'alti. Everybody say it for me. You one male did fa'alti. No. Yeah. I'm confused, man. You one female did fa'alti. And you many females did fa'altunna. Again you see the reappearance of that short na. We had fa'alna for they many females. For you many females we have fa'altunna. Very similar. Okay. Let's say those two for me quickly. Fa'alti, you one female did. Fa'altunna, you many females did. Again, fa'alti, you one female did. Fa'altunna, you many females did. Okay, let's say the whole thing from where we had it. Fa'ala, he did. Fa'alu, they many males did. Fa'alat, she did. Fa'alna, they many females did. Fa'alta, you one male did. Fa'altum, you many males did. Fa'alti, you one female did. Fa'altunna, you many females did. Right. So the words are building up. That's why you have to do your homework every week, right? Fa'altunna. But now we've covered the third person, those that are not in the conversation. And we've covered those that we are speaking to. So it's only going to help us when we're accusing people now also. Skinnering and accusing people. Yeah. But now we want to know how to be, attributing to ourselves. Let's see. How do I say, I did? I did is fa'altu. Fa'altu. And here, we use the same one for masculine and feminine. Not because we are confused about ourselves or anything like that, no. Just because in the context we will always recognize from other factors in the context whether it's a female that's the speaker, it's a male that is the speaker. Right? So this for third person we distinguish between masculine and feminine. For second person we distinguish between masculine and feminine. And for first person we use the same words for both masculine and feminine. Right? Because other factors, when you have the word in a context, the context will tell us whether it's a male speaking or a female speaking. So how do I say I did? Fa'altu. I did. Fa'altu. Again? I did. Everybody? Fa'altu. I did. And the last one is fa'alna. We did. Say it for me? Right, there's only a very small change between fa'alna and another word that we said before, fa'alna. You see, just a little alif over there, but it changes the meaning drastically. It changes the meaning drastically. Fa'alna. You may, fa'alna. So now, that is what makes up the first scale of verbs in Arabic, right? So what we're going to do is we're just going to repeat that a couple of times. It's like I cannot stress how important it is for you to know the scale, right? But hindsight will tell you, well, let's not wait for hindsight to know how important it is, and then we didn't do it. Just trust me for now. Learn it, please. Like if you're not going to do your homework later and stuff like that, I'm not going to say it's fine. It's not fine. But don't not do it now, because then it will be detrimental. Right, so everybody, say it scale for me, please. But Fa'ala, he did. Fa'alu, they many males did. Fa'alat, she did. Fa'alna, they many females did. Now, fa'alta, you one male did. Fa'altum, you many males did. Fa'alti, you one female did. Fa'altunna, you many females did. Fa'altu, I did. Fa'alna, we did. Fa'alna, we did, right. Okay. Like I said, this 10 words, right? It was actually originally 14 words. We omitted 4 of the words to make it to memorize, right? It's extremely important to your understanding of the Arabic language. It's not necessarily the most natural way of learning a language by learning scales, etc. But because for most of us we've already reached some age, it's going to be very difficult, and we also live in a society where it's difficult to recreate the environment where somebody's speaking and I'm just having to figure out what they're saying and eventually I catch on like a child. So, this is a streamlined method to come to know the structure of the Arabic language. This is the first part to knowing how verbs work. It's extremely, extremely important. Right? Eventually, if I tell you a word on its form fa'ala, right? Like for example, I tell you a word, the word means nasara, or the word is nasara, and I tell you what that one word means. You should be able to produce already now 10 other words. But based on the scale, on adaptations to the scale, let's say here's one with 10 words. It's actually supposed to be 14, which you will learn, 14. And there's 10 like this. 1,400. 10 times 14. Yeah. How much is that? 140. 140 words, right? I studied mathematics actually, my degrees in mathematics, astaghfirullah. Yeah, 140 words. And then, if you know that, you should be able to replicate that onto another 10 scales, each of which are comprised of another 140 words. So that's 1,400 words. Plus a whole lot of other word forms that get derived from this, maybe like 1,600. If I just tell you, if you learn these scales, and I told you the basis of these scales is just this one. Fa'ala, fa'alu, fa'alat, fa'alna, fa'alta, fa'altum, fa'alti, fa'altunna, fa'altu, fa'alna. If you know that, eventually you should be able to produce like thousands of words just from me telling you one word. But if you don't know this one, then you're not going to have a basis from which to start. You understand? So, the Arabic language, one of the ways in which, it's one of the reasons for which it's easy to learn is because words have like templates, forms that remain standard. So if I know a form and I know the connotations of that form, I can chuck in any meaning to that word or any root into that word, which we'll actually learn next week, inshallah. I'll be able to form new words. But this is the starting point. So this is like, it's important. Inshallah. It's very, very important. So please do learn this. Right? So everybody, let's just say it together. And that's actually why we repeat it, and built into the courses that we repeat this stuff. Because we know that sometimes the ladies do their homework, actually most of the time, but only sometimes the males do their work. So we repeat it like all the time. I don't want to ask who did their homework. Just now get depressed with stuff. Actually, no, we have faith in you. Every year is a new year. New batch of students. So, everybody, we build into it that we repeat these scales all the time so that it sticks into your mind. If we didn't do it at home, like I told you, after Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, Allahu Akbar, we do it in class. Everybody, Bismillah, say it with me. Fa'ala, he did. Fa'alu, they many males did. Fa'alat, she did. Fa'alna, they many females did. Fa'alta, you one male did. Fa'altum, you many males did. Fa'alti, you one female did. Fa'altunna, you many females did. فعلت, I did, فعلنا, we did. Okay, brothers, Bismillah, say it. You many males did. فعلتي. فعلت. فعلنا. MashaAllah. Next time we'll have some more volume as well. Ladies? فعلتن. فعلنا. We did. Right, good, mashallah. Last time, everybody together. فعل, he did. فعلوا, they many males did. فعلت, she did. فعلنا, they many females did. فعلت, you one male did. فعلتم, you many males did. فعلتِ, you one female did. فعلتن, you many females did. فعلت, I did. فعلنا, we did. Right, good. What I want you to do quickly again, each one of you, say it to a partner. Vice versa, like say it to each other. Okay. Now try and say it quickly without the English. Right? We say now without the English. Everybody. فعل, فعلوا, فعلت, فعلنا, فعلت, فعلتم, فعلتِ, فعلتن, فعلت, فعلنا. But now it's really going to help you with the meaning if you actually do the pointing, right? So everybody, one more time. فعل, فعلوا فعلت فعلنا فعلت فعلتم فعلتِ فعلتن فعلت فعلنا. One more time. فعل فعلوا فعلت فعلنا فعلت فعلت فعلتِ فعلتن فعلت فعلنا. Right, good. I'll check some words on the board. You tell me what it is. فعلتِ. Not she, one female. What's it? فعلتِ? You, one female. Right. She did. فعلت. Right. Okay, now what I want you to do, I want you to, when I put the word in, count till 3 and then tell me. Okay, I'll count till 3, you think. Because why? I want everybody to have a chance to figure it out, right? I know some are faster than others, but I want everybody to have a chance. Bismillah. 1, 2, 3. What's it? فعل 2. Right, good. فعلتم 1, 2, 3. فعلتم. You, many males did. Right, good. فعلتن. You see, if I don't count, what happens? You, many females did. Right, okay. 1, 2, 3. فعلنا. We did. Good. They, many females did. 1, 2, 3. What's it? فعل. Nah. Short noon. فعلت. فعلت. You. One male did. Good. You. You many males did. فعلتم. Right. فعلوا. They. Many males did. Good. He did. Basic. Okay. One more time. Let's say this, girl. Everybody. فعل. فعلوا. فعلت. فعلنا. فعلت. فعلتم. فعلتِ. فعلتن. فعلت. فعلنا. Okay, now quickly just say it to your partner without the English. Quickly. فعل. فعلوا. Okay, done? Done. Okay. Can we carry on? So, attention. So now what we've learned thus far is, I just want to actually point out, we learned this first scale, we said it's a past tense scale. But something that I want to point out to you is, as we started off with the word fa'ala, which is literally 3 letters, and then what we call like vowels or harakat, whatever it is, on those words, right? Fa'ala. So, just something about the verb. We start off normally with 3 letters. We call them 3 root letters. I'll explain to you what root letters are next week, inshallah, right? Why we call them root letters, but we have 3 root letters. Those 3 root letters tell me the action that we're speaking about, what is being done, right? And then we have changes that happen to the verb. Like what did we do? We change the ending every time, isn't it? We started with fa'ala, then we made it fa'alu, then we made it fa'alat, Then we made it fa'alna and fa'alta, tum, ti, tunna, tu, na. Right? We just added a slight change to it. The changes give me additional information. For now, what kind of information? The root letters tell me what was done. Right? The letters, the fa, ayn and lam, tell me what was done. And the additions tell me when the action was done and who did the action. The when, we'll see that maybe in 2 weeks' time or so, inshallah. How we change that. How we change the when. As for the who, we've already learnt it. Right? We've already learnt how to change who does the action by changing the ending. From fa'ala we went to fa'alu, fa'alat, fa'alna. Always changing the ending. That changed who did the action. So the when is categorized into either past tense or present tense, and the who is obviously how the endings change. But now, that shouldn't confuse you. Just remember this. There's 2 components. There's the actual letters that make up the word. That only tells me the action. And then there's changes that happen that tell me who does the action and when was the action done. When the action was done, we're still going to learn that. Right? But what we have learned is how to change who is doing the action. We only learned one action so far. And that action is to do. But the change that we have learned is how to change who was doing the action. Now to solidify that, we have some homework. I just put this here for people who like to categorize stuff in their mind. If you don't know anything that I just put on the board here, it's fine, as long as you know fa'ala, fa'alu, fa'alat, fa'alna, fa'alta, fa'altum, fa'alti, fa'altunna, fa'altu, fa'alna. If you know that, bismillah. Right? You're doing good. So, what I want you to do for homework is this. Last week I gave you a sheet. Can I just see your sheets of last week, please? I think it may be behind that one. Yeah, the empty one. So last week you got this sheet here, right? That said past tense scale, but you also had one with this filled in, like the actual scale written out, right? So what I want you to do is, number 1, this is just for your own benefit, write out the scale. Fa'ala, fa'alu, fa'alat, fa'alna, fa'alta, fa'altum, fa'alti, fa'altunna, fa'altu, fa'alna. Write out the scale, right? You can do it with the English if you want to, without the English, up to you. And then I gave you 2 homework sheets. So the first one I want you to do is this one. It says on top, Sarf exercise 1. So what you're going to do there, simply translate the stuff. In the 1 column, I have Arabic words. I want you to translate those from Arabic to English. And on the other side, I want you to translate those from English into Arabic. So for example, I have fa'alaya in the block next to it. I'm going to write he did. This one I have they many males did. I'm going to write fa'alu. Simple. And once you've done that, and then we have another homework sheet. This one says Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim on top. But then the actual title is 1 Basic Verbs, Quran Worksheet 1. See that? So what I have here is, there's 7 ayat or part of ayat of the Quran. So these are actually Quranic verses, right? The verse number is actually at the beginning. The surah number and the verse number. What I want you to do for me is, I want you to translate those verses for me. Each one of these verses have one of the verbs that we've done. For example, the first one has Alam tara kayfa fa'ala rabbuk. The second one has Wa kullu shay'in fa'alu hu fi zubur. The third one has Fala junaha alaykum fima fa'alna. The next one has fa'alta. The next one has fa'altum. The next one has fa'altuhu. The last one has fa'alna. So all of these verses are centered around one of the verbs that we've learned. I want you to translate these verses for me. How are you going to do that? On the back of the page, there's a vocabulary list. Right? There's a vocabulary list. So, you take the vocabulary from here, you link it to the verses on the front side, and then you try and put them into a coherent sentence. Now, I don't expect everybody's sentences to be 100% coherent. If you want to check in the translation of Quran after you've done the thing, then you can check the verse numbers over here, right? But the objective of it is what? To see how these verbs actually work in a context, right? And to learn some Quranic vocabularies, right? To see how these verbs that we learned now, detached from a context in a list, how they actually look in a context, in a sentence, and to learn some Quranic vocabularies. So that's the objectives. So firstly, you can just do that sheet where you fill in the whole scale. Next one, this translation from Arabic to English, English to Arabic. And then this one, where you actually translate these ayat for me. Inshallah, right? With the aid of a vocabulary list for now, but inshallah, soon we won't have to give you that. Right. Is that okay? Any questions? No questions? Question. Is there any structure to a sentence? For now, what did you learn in Nahwu today? What did you learn in Nahwu today? Hal. Okay, you're not there. But very soon you will see the sentence structure. It's going to be, because we're at this early stage, it's going to be very difficult for me to explain to you like that sentence structure in terms of how you translate. But if you learned Hal today in Arabic, in Nahwu, then very soon you're going to move on to a sentence structure. Right? And then the components of that sentence structure. For now, I'm kind of trying to get to work in common sense. Okay? So that's Sarf for now. We're going to move on to our reader now, inshallah. That. Druish, do you know where the stuff is saved in there? Okay, yeah, Mankasa. Should be this. Can I duplicate the screen?
The thing is, if you mess with that, it's gonna throw out the next person who does PowerPoint. So I'll just slide it over here.
Okay. Okay, cool. Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So what we did last week is we started off with this book, Man Kasara al-Asnam. What does it mean? Man Kasara means who broke the idols. Who broke the idols. We started translating this story using our vocabulary lists, and that's what we're going to continue to do today. But before we move on to doing some group work, I want to just check what we did last week, right? So we're going to read it together, see how we had it translated, and then move on from there, inshallah. So firstly, let's just read. You have the book in front of you? We are on page number 2. Everybody, let's read together. Bismillah. Translation, we're just going to read that first 5 from the beginning. We're going to read the chapter heading and the first 5 lines, and then we'll move on from there. Everybody. من كسر الأصنام. Everybody. آزر رجل مشهور. هو يسكن في قرية جميلة. هو يصنع أصناما. بيت الأصنام بيت كبير. الناس يسجدون لهذه الأصنام. Okay, now we're going to go through it with translation. So I'm going to say the sentence, you guys give me some guidance on how you translated it. من كسر الأصنام. Okay, that was there. Who broke the idols? Right, next one. آزر رجل مشهور. آزر is a famous man. So rajulun means man, mashhurun means famous. Azaru rajulun mashhurun. You translate it as Azar is a famous man. So you already identified that you had to add something in there, isn't it? You had to add in a is. Right? And I said we're just going to assume for now, unless there's a was in the sentence, that the sentence is present tense. So that's correct, that's good, mashallah. Next sentence. هو يسكن في قرية جميلة. He lives in a beautiful village. Good. هو يصنع أصناما. He makes idols. Right. You might have learned something over there. Didn't you see, like, in the title was Man Kasar al-Asnama, al-Asnama, and over here you had Asnaman. You see that? What is the difference? The one I said, who broke? The idols, and here it was what? He makes idols. Like, one is definite, one is indefinite. Okay, good. Next one. Baytul Asnami Baytun Kabirun. Say again. The house of the idols is a big house, a large house. Anybody have anything different? The house of the idols is big. Okay, it's a valid English understanding, but then you omitted the second word, bait. That is what we call, mashallah, using your imagination. Right. Last one. الناس يسجدون لهذه الأصنام. Next one. The people. How do you say? The people are prostrating to okay, the word هذه isn't there, no? But هذه means this. هذه means this. But for plural to mean what? These. So the people are prostrating to these idols. The people are prostrating to these idols. Okay, good, mashallah. Any questions? Question? The second last one. Baytul asnami baytun kabirun. Yes. If you want to translate it like literally in a structure that we generally use for learning, then we say the house of the idols is a big house. But the English equivalent of that, you can either say the house of the idols, or you can say the idol's house. It's the same thing. The Arabic structure to say those two things are exactly the same. Question? Yes, that does matter very greatly. The question is, does it matter if there's a al, like we have here, Baytul Asnami? Baytul Asnami. Does it matter whether the al is on the bayt or whether the al is on the asnam? It does matter. But for now, just when how did you translate that? Baytul Asnami. The idol house, or if you just spell it out more, the house of the idols. Usually the second one, the second word, the one that's going to have the of before it, that one has the al. But I don't want to get technical about that now, so don't worry, because we actually have a lesson on that. It's a specific type of Arabic construction that we call a idafi construction or murakkab idafi. We have a specific lesson on that in Nahwu, inshallah. Okay, so now we can move on to the next chapter, inshallah. Let's just read it together, and then you can break up in your groups and you can translate it. So what's going to happen is, the sentences are obviously going to get progressively more challenging, more complicated. So let's see. Waladu azara. Everybody read for me. Waladu azara. What does walad mean? Walad means a boy or a son. And Azar is the guy's name, right? So what do you think Waladu Azar means? The son of Azar. The son of Azar. That's the name of the chapter. So now we'll actually work through the chapter. Let's just read it, everybody together. Bismillah. Ibrahimu huwa ibnu Azara. Okay, now look here. You see there's an alif there, right? That's not actually an alif. That is called a hamza. Can you see by Ibrahimu, huwa, and then you have the word ibn. You can look on the board if you want to. Alif, we only call alif when it's making a pulling sound. That one over there is not making a pulling sound. That letter is called a hamza. Now some hamzas you have to say, like you have to make that hamza sound. And some hamzas you can just read right through. Like the one Ibrahim, you have to say it right. And then this one looks just like the other one, this one over here, by Ibrah. That one's making a pulling sound, right? Ibrahim. That's what you call an alif. This one here looks exactly the same, but it's not making a pulling sound. That one we don't call an alif. That's a hamza as well. So that one's a hamza, that one's a hamza. The one that you have to say, we call it hamzatul qata. Don't worry about the name now. Just know that such a thing exists. And the one where you just read right through, that means hamza, we call it hamzatul wasl. I don't expect you to know all that names. All that I expect you to know is what I usually know in my mind as an alif. What I learned in madrasa as an alif. Sometimes it's actually called a hamza, and sometimes it's called a alif. It's only called alif when I make a pulling sound. And then a hamza, sometimes I have to say it, sometimes I must read through it. Usually when you must say it, then it has this little chappy there. There's that thing, either it will be on top or at the bottom or somewhere. And when you don't have to say it, then it won't have it. Can you see there? Doesn't have it. Right. So that one means I can read right through it. So I don't have to say Ibrahimu huwa ibnu Azara. I just say Ibrahimu huwa ibnu Azara. I'm just reading right through it. Okay. Everybody say it for me. Ibrahimu huwa ibnu Azara. You know what? What kind of Qur'ans do people read out of? You know, most of us, we used to read from a 13-line Qur'an. I also, that's still my mushaf of preference. From a 13-line one with the Indo-Pak print. But if you look in the one with 15 lines, okay, this one that also has an Indo-Pak print, but if you look at the 15-line one with the Arabic print, then you'll see sometimes it has the chapi, sometimes it doesn't have the chapi. In the Indo-Pak print, it doesn't show all of those details. And that's like that for a reason. The reason is to facilitate for people that don't know Arabic so well to still be able to read the Quran with ease. So it was done for a reason. But if you look at the 15-line Uthmani print, you'll see that some of them have the Hamza, some of them don't have it, etc. So by the way, but anyways, let's just read the sentence. Everybody, Ibrahimu huwa ibnu Azara. Okay. Ibrahimu waladun rashidun. Ibrahimu waladun rashidun. Next one. Ibrahimu waladun hakimun. Next one. Ibrahimu ra'an yasjuduna lil asnami. Ibrahimu ra'an nasa yasjuduna lil asnami. Okay. Wa ra'an nasa ya'buduna al asnama. Again, one last time. وَرَأَى النَّاسَ يَعْبُدُونَ الْأَصْنَامَ. Okay, right. What you can do now is, inshallah, you can get into your groups. What you're going to do in your groups? Same thing you did last week. Go through these sentences. Go through the vocabulary list at the bottom. Right? Match the words to the sentences and then try and create a coherent English sentence from words. What's going to happen is, inshallah, I'll ask you one day to read over this again. And then you're going to see a lot more patterns and structure that you see now. But hopefully we can learn a little bit through discovery. Like there's a couple of things that you already learned. You learned the fact that there must be an is or are, even though it's not in the sentence. I didn't tell you that. So, yeah. So go for it. Bismillah. Okay. Our period's actually up now. So I already clarified what your homework is for Sarf, right? We already spoke about your Sarf homework. So for this, you guys seem to have gotten pretty far with that. So you can just go to page number 4 and then do that page for homework. Is that too much? All right. Too much? Too much homework. Did you guys finish page 3 now? You finished page 3? Okay, so we're going to check that one and then you do page 4. It's like 2 word sentences, man. Come on. Inshallah. Get as far, do as much as you can, inshallah. But first, the Sarf is more important. So focus on Sarf first, and then you come to this, and do as much as you can. I'm not saying don't do this. I should never say that one thing is more important than the other. But yeah, just do it all. Inshallah. This is what you have, what happens when you have a lazy student as a teacher. But okay. It's in there for now, we're in there. Wa jazakumullahu khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I think Maulana Abdullah is going to come here now, I think. And again, if you guys have any questions or anything like that, please don't hesitate to ask.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا علمنا ما ينفعنا وزدنا علما السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. How is everyone doing today? Alhamdulillah, thumma alhamdulillah, good to be back. We start with the praises of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as all praise is due to Him. And we ask of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to send abundant salutation on our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Again, we thank Allah and we remind ourselves of all the favors that He has bestowed upon us, allowing us to have woken up this morning, allowing us to have a roof over our heads, the limbs that are perfectly intact, being able to see, being able to hear, being able to speak, the gift of Iman, the gift of allowing us to be part of this ummah, the ummah of our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And again, I'm going to probably mention it whenever we start, so it can become part and parcel of that. When we wake up with gratitude. We wake up with saying Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah alladhi ahyana. All praise due to the one that has granted us life. Ba'dama amatana. After taking us away, sleeping the minor death. Wa ilayhi nushur. And to Him is our return. Beautiful study that I was listening to of the prominent and top people in the world. There was a study that was done as to just looking at their daily life, and many of them, they would wake up before it's time for them to get up. So if they're going to get up 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, whatever time, they would wake up like 20 minutes earlier, just sit up in their bed and reflect and speak to themselves and show gratitude for what they have. This is non-Muslims. I'm grateful that I have a roof over my head. I'm grateful that I have this. I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful. And the impact based on the study was because they started their day with gratitude. They went into their workplace with happiness. They went into their workplace with gratitude, and that overflowed onto their workers. Now imagine Rasulullah more than 1,400 years ago taught us that when we wake up in the morning, wake up with that gratitude. Wake up being grateful for another opportunity that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has granted us. So again, whenever we wake up with this particular gratitude. Last week I gave you a few tips as to how to unlock the heart. Now I need to see now, am I wasting my time here? Or are you actually taking note? If one of the ladies can give me one of the things that I mentioned out of the 6. Just one of the things that I mentioned. I'm giving the guys time to think. One of the things that I mentioned out of the 6, then I'll go over to I mentioned 6 things that can be as a means of us unlocking our heart. This journey is about the heart being unlocked. If the heart is not unlocked, you're not going to be able to truly benefit from it. Anyone, please. Yes. Beautiful, mashallah. Do you know what the fard kifaya is? Have you ever heard of a fard kifaya? So fard kifaya is that if someone in the community does it, or a few people in the community does it, then the sin falls away from everyone. So if one person or a few people does the janazah salah of that person, then the whole community is free of that. So mashallah, because of this until now, all of you are free of having to tell me one thing. So guys, who's going to be that honorable brother that's going to save all the men from being duty bound? Just one of the things. The sister mentioned that make dhikr, make adhkar with the niyyah that the heart is being purified. Remember this very importantly. While you're driving, it's easy. Keep the tongue moist to the remembrance of Allah. Subhanallah, oh Allah, that blackness is in the heart. Alhamdulillah, Allahu Akbar. Form of adhkar will cleanse the heart. One of the brothers at the back, yes, mashallah, on the seat. You wanted to mention something? No. Yes. Be sincere, mashallah, shukran. So you just saved all the brothers now from having to respond. Be sincere. Sincerity is going to be the key to you maximizing your opportunity that Allah has given you of understanding His word. Don't come here for any other reason, to show so and so how clever I am, or I'm coming here for this reason, If any of you here because your mother or father forced you to be here, alhamdulillah you here, now renew your intention, can Allah. Okay, I was here because my parents forced me to be here. I'm here because my mother drags me out my bed on Sunday morning. You here because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose you to be here. Now just renew the intention. Just renew the intention. One hadith and then we'll start inshallah. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam says, Inna lillahi ahlina minan nas. Indeed, for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there are those that get the rank as if they are the family of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now we know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala emphatically states in the Quran, Qul huwa Allahu ahad. Allah is one. Lam yalid wa lam yulad. He doesn't have offspring. He wasn't given birth to. He doesn't have any lineage. He's one. So how can this hadith contradict that? Indeed, for Allah, there are those that are the family of Allah, as if they have this particular status by Allah. They are the family of Allah. So the Sahaba wanted to know. So they said, Man hum ya Rasulallah? Ya Rasulullah, who are those that have been given this rank as if they are the family of Allah? Ahlul Quran, the people of Quran. Ahlul Quran hum Ahlullah. They have been given the rank as if they are the family of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They've taken out time. It's like your father writes you a message when he passes on and he says, when my son, my daughter is so 20 years old, 25 years old, please give this to them. And you are given it and you have the opportunity and the choice to read it, or you say, tear it up, I'm not interested in it. Because you open up, you get a message from your father. You get a message from your father. It is like that. The opportunity is there. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has left us His word. You open it. Because you're opening it, it's as if you're connecting to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and you're given that rank wa khasatuhu, and you are His special people and special individuals. So alhamdulillah, you're sitting here, the niyyah is to connect to the Quran and know that that is the rank that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has granted you and placed you in. Surah Duha. Surah Duha is a surah. Who knows what Makkiyah is? It was revealed, generally it is said revealed in Makkah. A more correct way of saying this is that it was revealed before the Hijrah. And I'll explain why now. It was revealed before the Hijrah. The reason why you shouldn't say that it was revealed in Makkah, because after the Hijrah took place, there was a time that Rasulullah ﷺ went back to Makkah. Fathu Makkah is Hajjatul Wada. And the verses that were revealed in Makkah after the Hijrah are still known as Madani verses. Understand that? So even though he lived in Medina for 10 years, but in that time he went back to Makkah. When any revelation took place in Makkah, when he came back, it's still known as Madani verses. The first 13 years that Rasulullah was in Makkah, the theme of the verses were very specific. It was to do with reconnecting you to Allah, increasing your iman, speaking about the akhirah. Closer to the end of that period and more in Medina, legislation came down. So Hajj came down, 9th year of Hijrah, 6th year of Hijrah. Zakah came down, all the legislation and the laws. So the themes between the two were very, very different. 13 years just working on your iman, increasing your iman, such that the Sahaba radiallahu anhum, when they came to Medina and any ruling was given, they were in that state where they would just say, Sami'na, we hear, wa ata'na, and we obey. The heart was ready. The heart was ready. So Surah Duha. Surah Duha, the name Duha means morning light or morning brightness. There's a salah known as Salatu Duha. That's done in the early morning. This particular surah, the reason of revelation, it was one of the very early surahs. The reason of revelation was after Rasulullah got revelation whilst he was in Jabal or Ghar Hira, Jabal Nur. Jabal Nur is where Rasulullah got the verses Iqra, first verses to be revealed. Jibreel alayhi salam comes to him and he says, Iqra, read. And he says, Ma ana biqari, I cannot read. And Jibreel alayhi salam embraces him to show him that this is real, it's not a dream. So tight that he almost loses his breath, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And then Jibreel alayhi salam releases him and he says to him, Iqra, read. And he says again, Ma ana biqari, I cannot read. What must I read? Jibreel alayhi salam does it again, squeezes him. This is not a dream, this is real. Iqra, read. Ma ana biqari. Iqra bismi rabbika alladhi khalaq. خلق الإنسان من علق. اقرأ وربك الأكرم. The first 5 verses were revealed that read, and when you read, اقرأ باسم ربك, read in the name of your Lord. Whatever you're going to do it for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam runs down Now, if you've been to Jabal Nur, you know it's quite an intense walk up there. It's very, very intense. It's a long walk up, and I think it's approximately 9 kilometers from Jabal Nur to Makkah. Now, to get up there, you come up and you're exhausted. Nabi Muhammad SAW ran down the mountain, and then at a very fast pace ran 9 kilometers to Makkah. This is how fit Rasulullah SAW was. So 10 kilometers, that's your sunnah. You can start with a few hundred meters at a time until we eventually all on the 10 kilometer sunnah of Rasulullah SAW. So he runs home and he comes to his wife and he's fearful. Something just happened. I don't know what happened. He speaks to his wife Khadija. He says, Zammiluni, Dathiruni, close me, cover me. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala later reveals, Ya ayyuhal muzammil, oh the one that's closed up in blankets. Ya ayyuhal mudathir, oh the one that's covered up. Thereafter, there's a period where no revelation takes place. There's no revelation. A month goes by, 2 months goes by, and Rasulullah ﷺ feels anxiety. He starts to feel depression. Did he do something wrong? Did he commit a sin? What is it that he did that no revelation is coming down? And as a means of comfort to our beloved Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, the surah was revealed. Now, the surahs, the majestic nature of this Quran is that whilst things were revealed directly to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and to the Sahaba at one point didn't have any revelation in any Quran. And then when it was revealed to them, it affected them in a way that changed their lives for the better. Before this period that you were here, or before you had any contact with Quran in the terms of understanding, you were in a very similar state to what the Sahaba radiallahu anhum were in before revelation. Understand that like they received the Quran, in the same manner you are receiving the Quran. They didn't have Quran, they got Quran. You didn't have Quran, you're now getting Quran. Like it was revealed to them, it's as if it's being revealed to you. Whilst it spoke to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, these verses are now going to be speaking to you. So even though the reason of revelation was to comfort Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you will find that in these verses there is a means of comfort for yourself as well. And this is the beauty of the Quran. You look at Quran, you listen to Quran, you read Quran, Allah speaking to you. Make it a personal journey between you and Allah. This is what this journey must be about. وَالضُّحَى أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وَالضُّحَى وَالضُّحَى. This wow is a special wow. Wow generally means, did you do wow already? And. This wow doesn't mean and. This wow is a special wow. This wow indicates that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is taking an oath. So it's called wawul qasam. Wawul qasam. Qasam is to take an oath. We normally say, so wallahi qasam. 10 days in Quran. It's a qasam, not qasam, qasam. It's a qasam to take an oath. This wow is the wow of qasam, to take an oath. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is taking an oath here. And when an oath is being taken, it's to show importance. So wadduha, I take an oath by the morning light. Now when there's darkness, and the light comes, it gives guidance. I take an oath by the morning light, the brightness, the guidance that's coming into your life. And this is how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You're going through a difficult patch. You're going through a space of depression. وَالضُّحَى, like the morning comes, and then immediately, وَاللَّيْلِ إِذَا سَجَى, there's going to be times when darkness comes. It's going to be times of brightness, and it's going to be times where you're just going to feel a little bit of. So you're going through that now. The revelation came, it was bright, and then there was a pause, like night came, and now it's dark. Life is such that you're going to go through times of joy and bliss. You're going to go through times of enjoyment, and then you're going to go through times of calm. Sometimes you're going to go through a little bit of difficulty. Sometimes you're going to go through struggle. What do you do in those situations? So beautifully, وَالضُّحَى, by the morning light, وَاللَّيْلِ, and by the night, either when saja means to become calm. Saja means when it starts to darken. So the day comes, and now it follows up by darkness. And the metaphor that's being used here is that's the life cycle. This time's going to be beautiful moments. This time's going to be still. Time's going to be a little bit tough. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is reminding Rasulullah, this is the life cycle. You're not always going to have bliss. Same, you're not always going to have darkness. But there's a cycle. There's times of goodness. How are you going to respond in the time of goodness? There's going to be times of difficulty. How are you going to respond in the time of difficulty? Part of the tenets of our iman is وَقَدْرِ خَيْرِهِ وَشَرِّهِ مِنَ اللَّهِ تَعَالَى. That everything that happens, whether it's good or whether it's difficult, whether it's challenging, whether it's bad, this comes from Allah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to see how you're going to respond in that time. When Allah gives you, He makes you successful, He makes you rich, how are you going to respond to Him? Are you going to be grateful? Or are you going to become arrogant? I've achieved this because of me, my knowledge, my cleverness. It's all about me, ana, I, me. Or are you going to say what you say in every Fatiha? Alhamdulillah. All praise for Allah. Allah's granted me the intellect. Allah's granted me the ability. Allah's granted me physical strength. Allah's granted me the resources. I've only achieved this because of Allah. And when I go through difficulty, when I go through challenges, it's a challenge that really shows your true commitment. If things go easy, then it's easy. When you go through a challenge, you want to see how committed you are to that particular cause. It's when a challenge comes, you see how committed you are to a particular cause. So وَقَدْرِ خَيْرِهِ, when the decree of good is there, it's from Allah. He wants to see how you respond. And when the decree of difficulty is there, Allah wants to see how committed you are to this path. And no, I'm giving you a heads up now already. When you take this path of wanting to become better on your journey towards Allah, you're taking this path when you want to better your life, you better your family's life, know that there are going to be challenges. Know that there are going to be stumbling blocks. Know that there are going to be people that's going to try and stand in your way. Know that people's going to say, I just want to be salih now again. Look at this person. Ampusus a Nabi. You're going to get it. You're going to hear it. You're going to feel it. Allah wants to see how you're going to hold on. You're going to say, nah, I don't want to be called a Nabi. Let me take off my cloak. Let me take off whatever I have. Go back to my normal ways. But that's the test. Are you going to hold on, or are you going to give up the opportunity that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has granted you? Okay? So, وَالضُّحَى, by the morning light, وَاللَّيْلِ إِذَا سَجَى, and there's going to be times of darkness, times of still, sometimes times of difficulty. مَا وَدَّعَكَ. Ma, this ma is for nafi, it's negative. Not. What not? Ma wadda'aka, has not forsaken you, Rabbuka, your Lord. Your Lord has not forsaken you. Don't worry. Don't worry. Your Lord has not forsaken you. That's the words Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives to Rasulullah whilst he's thinking what's happening. Did I do something wrong? No, it's a time of ease, the time of patience. Just wait. Ma wadda'aka, has not forsaken you, Rabbuka. Rabb means Lord. Rabbuka, the kaf connected to the word Rabb is you. So it's a damir, it is a pronoun connected to the word. Ma wadda'aka, the word wadda'a is a verb, there's a ka connected to it. Wadda'aka, Rabbuka, your Lord. Everyone got that? Ma wadda'aka, Rabbuka, wa ma qala, and your Lord does not hate you. Your Lord has not forsaken you. Your Lord does not hate you. Now this is something important for our own, development. Many times you go through difficult times, you go through struggle, and you ask, what's wrong now? What did I do? Does Allah hate me? No. That's a time of reflection. It's time to draw closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The greatest of prophets were tested by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And many a times, sometimes Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala places something there, a test, only as if He's knocking on your door. Knock, knock, knock. You're going the wrong way. I want you to turn this way. So He calls you back via that stumbling block. And alhamdulillah, many a times for some, that stumbling block is a catalyst for them to turn back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But at times, the stumbling block is a catalyst for them to turn the other way. And may it not be that for us. Because here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala promises, in your difficulty, I don't hate you. I haven't forsaken you. This is a period for reflection for you. Where are you in your life in relation to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? What's your connection with your Creator? What's your connection with your deen? What's your connection with Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam? And may all those tests be a catalyst for us turning back to Him. May it be that for us. Because the promise of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is that once you get through that test, there's only greater in store for you. And this is what the next verse says. Wa and lal akhiratu. There's a lam connected here before the word al akhirah. The lam is a lam of emphasis. So indeed, this is called lamu ta'keed or tawkeed. The lam of emphasis. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is emphasizing, and most definitely the akhirah, the year after, translated in two ways over here. The year after, or akhirah also means later. So whatever is later, what is to come, in the next day, next 2 days, next week, next month, it's understood in both ways. What is to come, and also what is in the year after. Walal akhirah, definitely what is to come. Khayrun, what is khair? It's good and it is better. Whatever you're going through now, don't worry. What is to come is going to be better for you. What is to come is greater. And again, what is later as well as the year after, khayrun laka, for you, minal, than, min means from, you can translate min as than now, minal ula, then that which is current, that which is now, ula, that which is close. Whatever you're going through, whatever difficulty you're going through, if you have the right mindset, pass the test, know whatever is going to come is going to be better for you. Whatever situation you're in, know that these words have now, as if it has been revealed to you. The Sahaba never heard, and then they heard. You never heard, and now you're hearing. If it's the first time, then accept it as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala telling you that whatever situation you're in now, whatever difficult, just relax. Take an opportunity to reflect. Turn back to Allah. Because what is to come is better for you than what you're currently going through. This is the Quran. The Quran is a means of comfort for me and you. And may the surah be a means of comfort for me and you. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. And I'll conclude with the last verse. Wa and la. Lam again of emphasis. Lam tawkeed. Wa la sawfa. And soon. Sawfa means soon. Wa la sawfa yu'tika. Yu'ti means to give. Yu'tika will give you. Who will give you? Rabbuka. Rabbuka, we did it. What does Rabbuka mean? Your Lord. And soon your Lord will give you. Soon your Lord will give you. Fatarda. And then you are going to be pleased and you're going to be happy. Soon your Lord is going to give you, and you're going to be pleased and you're going to be happy. Tarda, from radiya, to be happy and pleased. These are the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May you see the reality of this in your life soon. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. Jazakallah khair wa akhiru da'wana. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil